This 300-pound monster's name is DJ Burns. He goes to NC State and has been terrorizing the ACC for the past couple years now. In his most recent game against North Carolina in the ACC Tournament Championship, he had 20 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds, and gave North Carolina's Armando Bacot all he could handle, along the way to winning the ACC Tournament Championship and giving NC State a berth in this year's tournament. And DJ Burns' story is actually a little bit of an interesting one. As we can see here by his high school highlights, he clearly hasn't always been as huge as he was. He's of course always been big boned, but nothing compared to what we see now. You could definitely see the flashes of skill back then, and those have continued to just be refined and polished as he's gotten into his college career. But out of high school, he was actually rated as high as a 4-star prospect by 247. He was a part of the 2018 recruiting class and was originally signed and enrolled at the University of Tennessee, and he also had offers from schools like Tennessee, South Carolina, and Auburn. In the 2018 class, he was actually close to a top 100 player in the 14th center overall. When you look at some of the other names that were ranked in front of him in that 2018 class, you had some whales, whether it was Bull, Charles Bassey, Jalen Smith, or Moses Brown. However, he did not end up going to Tennessee due to some reasons that I couldn't find on the internet. After some bends in the road, he ended up landing at Winthrop College, where he would immediately begin to put the Big South Conference on notice. He would win Conference Freshman of the Year, averaging 12 points and 5 rebounds on 58% shooting. DJ would end up spending 3 seasons at Winthrop. In his best season, he averaged 15 points a game on 62% shooting from the field. During this time at Winthrop is when he really started to develop and polish his skill. It's easy to see here that he's always pretty much had a back to the basket and face-up game, and his footwork is extremely polished, even when comparing him to some of the better centers in college basketball and the NBA. I think the thing that makes him most impressive is probably his passing ability too. He's not just a back you down guy and then throw up some crazy shot. He's actually a smart basketball player with high IQ, and he's someone that a lot of younger big men can learn from. But after dominating at Winthrop for now 3 full seasons and the rise of the transfer portal, NC State University started to take notice. After his junior year, DJ Burns would then transfer to NC State, where he began to make an immediate impact for that team. In his first season at NC State, he would average 12 points and 5 rebounds on 56% shooting from the field, and he was doing all of this in only about 22 minutes per game. And that is the one negative that you can say about DJ Burns' game, is obviously he's so big that it's kind of hard to be in good shape, basketball shape at least, whenever you're that big. And I think that if he does want any NBA future, he's going to have to slim down a little bit. But something that I find really impressive about him is that he's been able to dominate at 2 levels. Dominated at the mid-major level, and now he's dominated at the high-major level. Mid-major levels, you usually have to be more skilled and you rely less on athleticism, which we obviously see that he's able to do, and that's why he was able to dominate so much when he was at Winthrop. But the part that I don't think a lot of people saw coming is his domination at the high major level, because although he is extremely skilled, he doesn't have explosive athleticism because of his size. Mid-major basketball and high major basketball are 2 completely different styles of play, so again, just super impressive. But this season is where DJ Burns has really popped on a national scale, as he had 27 points against Duke in the regular season and knocked them off in the ACC tournament, and then also just had arguably the biggest game of his career, where he had 20 points and 7 assists against Armando Bacot in the #1 seeded North Carolina Tar Heels. He would win the ACC tournament and ACC Tournament MVP and punch NC State's ticket to the national tournament. Footwork, his leadership skills, all of his intangibles are off the chart, and he's virtually unguardable. Whenever he gets going in games, dude, the crowd starts rocking. It's really amazing to see, but it's also funny because, like, there's nothing you can do about it. It just shows that at the end of the day, skill is king, but it also helps when you're 300 pounds. What's really fun and interesting, though, is now we are in March, which means the NCAA tournament, which means let the madness begin. And if you watch college basketball year after year after year, it's exactly these type of players and these type of stories that take over the tournament and that can lead teams on deep runs into the tournament. Especially when you consider NC State's momentum after winning 5 straight games in the ACC tournament. I mean, they knocked off Duke, UVA, and North Carolina in consecutive games, and obviously just winning a tournament championship is going to boost your team's momentum a lot. They have DJ Horn at guard, which to succeed in the NCAA tournament, you have to have a dynamic scoring guard, so they're covered on that front as well. Just taking a look at their potential path to success in the bracket, they drew the 11 seed and Texas Tech in the first round. Texas Tech finished the season as a middle-of-the-road Big 12 team, and NC State definitely has more team momentum coming into the tournament. Then when you look at the breakdown comparison of their top 2 players, DJ Horn is having a much better season than Pop Isaacs, especially coming off of that North Carolina game, and then DJ Burton is having a better season than Joe Toussaint. So they could easily sneak out a win in that game, and then if they do, that would most likely set up a potential matchup with Kentucky. Admittedly, I think I'd probably take Kentucky in that game, but Kentucky's been up and down all season, and you don't really know what to expect from that squad. Top 2 player breakdown comparison isn't close. Obviously, Antonio Reeves is better than DJ Horn, and Dillingham is better than Burns. But the NCAA tournament, crazy things happen, and Kentucky's coming off a super rough loss in the SEC tournament. That matchup between NC State and Kentucky to go to the Sweet 16 would be a super fun game to watch. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about DJ Burns and this NC State team as a whole. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you guys soon.